15 love.
Oh.
You saw the chipped return from Laura Siegemund. That's something she really likes to do to get into the rally. Qinwen, of course, one of the best servers on tour, led the aces stats of the season 2024. Most aces hit.
Oh.
Looking to attack early there, Siegemund, off that return. As Andrea mentioned, Siegemund, an unbelievable doubles player as well. Won the 2020 US Open doubles with Vera Zvonareva, and she's won 2 mixed doubles Grand Slam tournaments, the French and the US Open. So an all-court player.
Oh.
Forty, 15.
Just missed wide, but that is one of her favorite go-to patterns. The serve out wide, gets a nice angle on it, opens the court up, and then into the open court with the forehand. And it's so hard to defend because she has that heaviness on that forehand. So the ball just seems to be going away from you moment by moment.
Lane first.
Oh.
Okay, Zheng.
So good hold for Zheng. 1-love, first set.
First game.
Laura Siegemund, as mentioned, the second oldest player in the draw behind Tatiana Maria.
The Germans, huh?
I know.
Are we so old? I'm so sorry.
Not at all.
Both great fighters, though. Speaks for them that they had such long and sustainable careers. Not easy to remain at this Grand Slam level in this age, especially when you see these young players like Qinwen, who are so explosive and dynamic. But you can see she's in very good shape herself, Laura Siegemund.
Well, she was at the United Cup and she'd played her session the night before, and then she was back in the gym the next day at 6:30 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Laura Siegemund.
Loves being on tour. Siegemund is making her 8th appearance here at the Australian Open. Her previous best result was reaching the 3rd round on 2 occasions in 2023 and 2016. You almost feel like Siegemund doesn't want to get pushed too far back behind the baseline, right? She wants to be moving forward and taking time away.
Yeah, that will be the biggest challenge for her today. How can she serve, return, set up the baseline rally so she can somehow dominate them, which, as I said, it's going to be very hard against a powerful player, Zheng.
Let Visser. Let second serve.
Oh.
15-30.
And Laura traditionally has a lot of first serves in play. Second serve, very vulnerable area of her game. Needs to make sure to get that percentage up on first strike.
A good example there of utilising that first serve.
Here we have Antonio, that's her coach, in on the right bottom with the navy blue shirt. And Torben Belz is the new head coach of the German Tennis Federation. Just recently started a couple of months ago.
Oh.
14-30. Game, Siegemund.
3 big first serves for Laura Siegemund, and she's on the board here in the first set.
1 game.
1-1.
Well, and there was the one area in Zhang Qinwen's first match where you could see that she hasn't played in a while. That was her first match this season. As you mentioned earlier, Bojana, she opted out of playing United Cup, was on the list, but then pulled out to get a bit more rest and practice in, and the return. And that's the one thing that is so hard to practice in match conditions, just the eye getting used to the quickness of the server.
15 love.
Must be such a fine line between playing a number of matches to get the confidence, but then also knowing when to pull back and when to peak at the right time.
It's so hard for women particularly, because the men have the luxury. In the long run, the best of 5 is very hard on men's bodies, but just for the first round, they have the luxury to have a few more sets to find their rhythm.
Point of the match.
Well done by Zheng to really put up with that craftiness that Dante Bottini was talking about
30
earlier
love.
of Laura Siegemund. Did not back down.
And straight away, Zheng puts a little bit of pressure on Siegemund, knowing that she can get to those short drop shots and get Siegemund's best ball back. She's enjoying that flat serve down the tee on the due side, isn't she? 165 k's per hour. Nice little crush and rush here.
14.
And that's the tricky part playing against Siegemund. She always changes up her return position. Sometimes she comes in, takes it early, then she backs up all the way behind the baseline. And that's a good strategy against a good server like Zheng. Can at times be shaky on second serves.
Reads the play there, Siegemund. Wasn't a bad approach there from Zheng, but
Yes.
good anticipation from the German. So from 40 love now, we're back to deuce.
Advantage, Siegemund.
You can see here just a bit short, and that's when Siegemund can take control of the rally. Really have to keep her at bay and behind the baseline.
So break point now for Siegemund.
It's so impressive. She did exactly the same thing
Yes.
in her first match against Anka Todoni. Zhang Qinwen had to save set points, was struggling with her first serve percentage, and then found 4 big first serves when it mattered most. She's so good in these tough moments. Real champion's mind she has.
How's the wheels on that last drop shot from Zheng?
Advantage, Zheng.
I've seen this so much in both the men's and women's game. The ability to slide into the ball and just get there in time. It's just unbelievable.
I would break all my ligaments and bones and anything else that the body is made of. But it's so impressive to see these incredible athletes out here sliding on the hard courts. Kim Kleistas, maybe the first one.
Fault.
Yes.
And she's enjoying that backhand, isn't she, Siegemund? Taking it very early.
Yeah, that is her best shot when we're talking about ground strokes, the backhand down the line. You can't really tell when she's going to change direction there. Caught Zheng a few times on that side.
Advantage. Zheng.
She almost has to keep swinging like that, doesn't she, Siegemund? Because if she starts to play or plays passive, she will get dominated. So it's a really good sign early on from her.
Yeah, it's a very good start by Siegemund. Really at the peak of her abilities here in the beginning stages, making things very hard for Qinwen.
Advantage. Zheng.
So Zheng saves a break point, manages to hold here in this first set. We're on serve, 2-1.
Zheng leads by 2 games to 1.
And Qinwen, when you're serving, I saw you watching the clock, which is good. Because it's hard to see. Because that last point was very, very close. Yeah. Can I have bananas and tissues for this side? I'll call it in as well.
So there's a lot happening on this change of ends. Tom Sweeney, the chair umpire, just having a word to Zheng Qinwen, noticing that she's watching the clock and saying that that last service game he did really well. So interesting.
Yeah, he mentioned that she got close on one occasion with the clock running out on her. She's not usually a player that plays a slow game.
Beautiful shots of Cain Arena for this women's second round singles. And we're on serve here in this first set. Zheng Qinwen had to fight off a break point in her last service game. The game almost lasting 10 minutes, but she managed to hold and has put pressure back on Laura Siegemund. It's been a high-level match. Siegemund showing her craftiness early on with a few drop shots, finishes at the net, and also being aggressive off that baseline too.
love 15.
Got it. Laura Siegemund toe-to-toe off the baseline against Zheng.
15 all.
Yeah, wow, what a baseline rally from both women. And it will be interesting to see how the drop shots progress from here, because Zhang Qinwen has been able to run every single down and has won 2 out of the 3 points that were played with a drop shot. This is the first one Laura Siegemund has won. The box looks happy. Yeah, you said it, Bayana. It's a great level here.
Yeah.
And she likes that one, that forehand down the line, return on those slice serves. Sometimes I feel like she pulls the trigger a bit too early on that one, Zheng. When she's feeling well, that's a great way to open the court, but oftentimes misses it just wide or into the net. Was a huge problem in the final last year against Aryna Sabalenka, actually. Just in the beginning stages, especially of a match, always good to go for a deep middle center return on first serve. Novak Djokovic is probably the master of this kind of return to neutralize the rally right away.
It's a big point here for Laura Siegemund to level things here in this first set. Really needs a first serve.
Person.
She set up the point beautifully, didn't she, with that slice second serve down the tee, and they're the types of shots she has to make. Can't let those opportunities go.
Yeah, especially against a top 5 player, and I do feel this is part of what Zheng does to you with her great athleticism. She shrinks the court for you. You just feel like you need to get so close to the lines to get a winner in.
Advantage, Zheng.
So 3 unforced errors for Siegemund. So from 40-15, she's now lost 3 straight points and is facing a break point.
Yes.
A long service game. This one a little over 6 minutes.
Advantage, Siegemund.
Something that you see off that forehand side. She's missed a number of returns.
Well, I will say, having played Laura a billion times, that serve of hers is really uncomfortable because it stays so low. It doesn't have a lot of pace on it, and you really have to move up to it. Once Qinwen finds the right position, I think she will have less problems, but it is not easy in the beginning. It's a little different than other slice serves.
Siegemund.
Fights off a break point, Siegemund. We're level here, 2-all, first set.
And you can sense that that is part of the strategy. Qinwen's forehand is one of her weapons, but she does have quite an extreme grip. So the slices in serve, but also on the forehand side, just trying to test that grip out. Not easy when you're so extreme to get under the ball when it's so low.
It just seems like she's still trying to find her range.
Yeah. Yeah, it was similar in the first match. And then once she found it in the second set, really ran away with it, played beautifully. But again, she hasn't played since the WTA finals. This is only her second match in this season.
$15 love. $30 love.
And here's a really interesting example of what we just talked about. Zheng is making fewer returns compared to Siegemund, even though Siegemund has a much worse serve compared to Zheng. Just shows you that she's still looking for that perfect return position. Played quite a big server in the first round in Todoni, so now the opposite.
$14 love.
In her last service game, Zheng, it lasted almost 10 minutes, so a good turnaround for the 5th seed. Some better serving.
$40-15.
Showing some great athleticism there, Siegemund, way back behind that baseline, able to change direction on the wrong foot, Zheng.
Fault.
14-13.
What a return.
Yes.
Just seems to be reading the serve a lot better, Siegemund, than Zheng when she's returning.
Yeah, and is throwing her off. This one she took on the line. This is a first serve, went way in, keeps changing up return positions, making Zheng think about how and where she wants to serve. And again, from 40 love to deuce.
Fault.
Advantage.
And a look on a second
Yeah.
serve. And you just don't think it's such a disappointing return because she's done so well up until this point. And you can see she's looking to be aggressive as well.
7 return winners already. That is a very good stat against one of the best servers.
Game, Zheng.
So good hold there for Zheng. No run serve in this first
Zheng
set.
leads
3-2.
by 3 games to 2.
So 33 minutes of play in this women's singles second round between the 5th seed Zhang Qinwen and Laura Siegemund. We've had a number of long games and both players really just trying to figure out one another. They've never played before. And I think Laura Siegemund has come out firing.
Yeah, she has. No, she's playing really, really good tennis out here.
Well, the roof is open here on John Cain Arena. It was closed before the players walked on court, but it's a good sign that the conditions are clearing up. Less rain. What a beautiful sight that is. And
Time.
great to see the spectators are filling the seats and getting into this women's second round singles match. So it will be Laura Siegemund to come out serving to level things here in this first set. Zheng Qinwen having some trouble off the return, so let's see if she makes some small adjustments in this game.
Fifteen left.
So the good sign for Zheng is the last 2 returns she has played through the middle just to start the point. But credit to Siegemund. I mean, she's able to redirect that ball and really get Zheng on the stretch.
Yeah, really that tennis IQ on display here. Plays behind Zheng, who is on the way to cover the open court. But this is the way forward for Zheng because she's making Laura Siegemund play her best tennis point in, point out.
14 left.
And if your opponent is able to do that for 2 sets, then you just have to accept it, shake hands, and try to do better. And here we have it. Laura Siegemund doing very well on the first serve stats. 79%. That is part of her game. Doesn't have a quick serve, but a smartly placed serve.
Game, Siegemund.
Holds to love, Siegemund. We're level here, 3-all.
3 games all.
So Siegemund just putting the pressure back onto Zheng with that comfortable service game.
Qinwen indeed. Huge star, not only in China, Qinwen, but really in all of the sporting world.
$15.
That was Dante Bettini on screen, the interim coach for Zhang Qinwen. Their full-time coach, Pateriba, undergoing surgery, so not able to make it here at this year's Australian Open. She's landing too inside that baseline, more so than Zheng at the moment.
30.
Yeah, you're actually spot on, because I have this smart gig stat in front of me, and Laura Siegemund is not the powerful player that Zhang Qinwen is, but she's taking 53% of her ground strokes on the rise, whereas Zhang Qinwen is only taking 38% of ground strokes on the rise. And again, that's the tennis IQ. She's making up for the things she doesn't possess by positioning herself.
40-15.
Big ace out wide for Zhang Qinwen, giving her an opportunity to take a lead here in this first set.
$40-30.
Big ace for
Nibbles,
Zhang
please.
Qinwen. On serve in this first set,
Zheng leads
4-3.
by 4 games to 3.
Well, that was a more comfortable hold for Zheng. I felt like she really found that first serve, won a few more free points. It's probably what she's most used to.
Yeah, 4 aces to her name, some of them in really crucial moments, and the first serve is up to 56%. It's hovering just around 50, sometimes falling underneath it. Finding her range, her rhythm on that stroke.
perfect playing conditions here on John Cain Arena.
Tie.
.40 minutes of play in this women's singles second round match between the 5th seed Zhang Qinwen and Laura Siegemund from Germany. And we're on serve in this first set so far. Very high level of tennis.
New piece.
Very high level of tennis from Laura Siegemund. She's throwing in all sorts of shots from the very first point. We saw drop shots, slices, balls taking you out of the air. Solid ground strokes off the baseline too. I feel like she's been waiting to hit that forehand.
15 all.
It felt like she almost unleashed for the first time, really here. Huge infliction of pace right there. This was a okay shot, but this one right here, look at the depth. Impossible to reach or to control. And the box on their feet, rightfully so.
Stays so low, doesn't it, that slice?
And it's so smart. She saw that Zhang found her range and really swung freely at the forehand prior. And right away she disrupts the rhythm to prevent Zhang to find her range completely.
So 4 from 4 returns for Zhang, so it's a good start. Seems to be getting a bit more comfortable off that return. Playing a lot more through the middle too.
Thirty 40.
So for a long time, Zhang now with a breakpoint opportunity to take a lead in this first set. What a way to save that break point from Siegemund.
Yes.
It just feels like this moment right here is so important for Siegemund when Zhang is finding her best tennis or just about to find it. Siegemund trying to fend that off in her own unique way.
Advantage. Siegemund.
Fighting hard, the German. Laura Siegemund.
Incredible hands by the German. And some great wheels on
4
Zheng to
games
do
on.
her best to stay in this game. I thought this was brilliantly played, actually. Dropped it to the feet. But this is a US Open doubles champion right now. And just does it perfectly.
Why not celebrate it too? That was not an easy shot to make.
Fifteen love. Fifteen on.
Really performing at her very best is
15-30.
Siegemund. This one, you can see, just slid off the line and into Zheng's body, so she wasn't quite able to get out of the way in time. This one right here slid off the line. How does she do it? It's amazing to me. Every single time she needs a first serve.
Would you say it's hard to read for Siegemund, that serve?
I think so, because she is actually really good in throwing it or tossing it as if she was going to serve a kick or wide serve, and then in the last moment with her wrist does go down the tee with a bit of slice. It's almost as if she needs that pressure to focus her mind completely on the service motion.
Zheng has tried to approach towards the net and just Siegemund anticipating so well. But would you say, Andrea, also not just having enough on those approaches from Zheng?
Yeah, just a bit short, I think. And because Siegemund stands so far behind the line, once the ball gets to her, she's able, because she has a good view of the court and a good terrific view, she's able to gauge where Zheng is at the net. One area that she can definitely improve, Zheng.
Advantage.
And again, the ace when she needs it. I actually think she has good volleys, and I like that she takes a lot of drive volleys, but sometimes she doesn't quite know how to cover the net when she does come to it. Sometimes lacks that extra step to close the net properly. 7 aces already.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, she's come out with a game plan, Siegemund, and she's executing beautifully so far in this first set.
Time violation, warning, Miss Jen. Advantage, Siegemund.
And Bojana, just what you said, she seems to be reading it well, because this was an excellent serve. There was nothing wrong with it, but Siegemund just all over it, seeing the ball so well right now.
Yes.
What an opportunity missed there for Siegemund.
And it's the first, there was one other return, but this is maybe the second only error where you're like, oh, this was not great. Other than that, she's played a nearly flawless game so far.
Advantage, Siegemund.
Yeah, it's just playing an aggressive game style, but also playing within herself. So knowing when to pull the trigger and when to hold back, Siegemund. Another opportunity to break here. And another opportunity with a second serve for Siegemund. Siegemund breaks for the first time in this match. She will come out to serve for this first set. She's up 5-4.
Siegemund leads by 5 games to 4.
What an almost perfect game Laura Siegemund played. Another long service game for Zheng, but just her ability when she's out on the stretch to execute, attack on the second serve, and keep her composure as well.
Yeah, and this will be a new challenge for Zheng Qinwen as a top 5 player. These players, like Laura Siegemund, they come out and they play their best tennis, and you're the hunted one, and you have to fend them off and try and wait for their level to drop, if it will drop at all. And we saw it in the first match as well. Todoni was playing really great tennis for a set there, and Zheng managed to hold on somehow. But this is a new challenge for her this year.
Time.
So if you're just tuning in, Laura Siegemund has broken for the first time and will come out now and serve for this first set. She's played unbelievable tennis so far, really matched it with the 5th seed. Now, Andrea, we have a big movie star in the house, Chinese star Turbo Lu, the youngest actor to gross over 3.5 billion Australian dollars at the cinema. How exciting is that?
Definitely has movie star vibes, I will say.
Ledford.
Nice fashion, good glasses.
Yeah, Detective Chinatown 2 is his biggest film, one of the top 10 grossing in Chinese history. Looked very calm out there.
Yeah, he seems to have big trust in Zhang Qinwen. Well played here by Siegemund, and this will be
15 love.
the first big challenge for her. She has played as an underdog this entire time, but how well she's played has now put her in the position to be able to close the set out. It's a different psychological stance to be in.
And it's a different feel for Siegemund too, because it's the first time in this set that she's in the lead. So it'll be interesting to see whether she continues to play to win or starts to get a little passive. Only time will tell.
Let's second set.
Okay, so not the best time to throw in a double fault.
Well, it is just, it's difficult to describe, but it's just a different psychological mindset you find yourself in when you're all of a sudden on top. And you're the one that is leading the way rather than hunting the on paper better player, the top 5 player.
Almost like she got stuck with her footwork there. She did not move at all.
Yeah, you could sense the hesitation in her entire system, right? It was just, it cuts off the dynamic footwork, those little adjustment steps.
So 2 points now for Zheng to break back.
first serve.
And another break of serve. Zheng breaks straight back to level things here. 5-all in the first set.
Yeah, the first bad game
games
off Siegemund's racket, and this is the reward Zheng gets for always being so calm and collected, no matter how high the pressure is, no matter how big the moment is. I wish I had that now, and she's 22.
And it feels like she's been around for a very long time.
Yeah, it just seems so mature, right? We can only dream of that type of maturity.
Left first serve.
I would say this is the difference with Siegemund. I mean, she has been as high as 27 in the world. That was back in August 2016. Currently ranked 97 in the world. These particular moments when she came out to serve for the first set is what really will determine, you know, being just inside the top 100 and inside that top 30 again.
Out.
Yeah, and I think she has served out big matches before. It's not that she doesn't know how to. We mentioned it, won the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, a huge tournament, was in the quarters of the French Open. It's just that when you age, I think you just know that, or you don't know how long these great stretches of play might last. And so maybe you rush it a bit in those moments when you have the opportunity to serve things out. And I do think there was a bit of hesitation, just maybe thinking about what might happen here, taking the first set off a top 5 player.
Breaks a number of points in a row there for Zheng. So good start there from Siegemund.
30-15.
Really needed to get on the board there. Maybe just to settle some nerves, a bit of tentativeness.
And right away when she's has her back to the wall and is down is when she finds that great tennis again that we saw in the beginning stages of this set.
use there of the body serve. Just taking away
14,
a bit of
30.
angle there from Siegemund. Solid hold there from the 5th set, Zheng. She's in the lead here, 6-5.
Zheng leads by 6 games to 5.
What a way to turn around this first set after being broken at 4 games all. Zheng fights back and now he's in the lead, 6-5. It's been a long set, an hour and 7 minutes. Seems to be zoning in a little bit now, I feel.
Yeah, this is a nice addition to her game. The drop shot started using that, yeah, somewhere midway through the season last year. When you have such powerful ground strokes and people tend to back up behind the baseline to fend them off. Such a great play. And that's the problem for Siegemund, right? She seems to be playing at her very best, and Zheng just feels like she has 2-3 more gears to go.
So lots of Chinese fans in the stands to witness Zheng Qinwen continue on her winning ways here at the Australian Open. It's been a battle on court. An hour and 8 minutes of play. And we are going the distance in this first set. It'll be Laura Siegemund to serve to keep her hopes alive in this first set.
left.
I bet she wished she started this service game, the last service game she had when she was serving for the set.
Yeah, just so much determination in these ground strokes, and knows exactly what she wants to do, whereas before it felt like she didn't quite know what she wanted to do. I will say, Bojana, I've rarely ever seen a player run down every single drop shot of Siegemund. It just comes to show what an athlete Zheng is, because Siegemund's drop shots are very good and usually very well timed, but Zheng has managed to get every single one of them.
Fourteen, 15.
That's what happens when you play against someone like Siegemund. You have to be willing to work for every single point and know that there will be a lot of drop shots to hustle down.
Fourteen, 30. Siegemund.
And she gets it. We're going into a tiebreak in this first set.
Six games all tiebreak.
What a way to turn it around, Siegemund, after her last service game when she came out to serve for the first set. Really held her nerve in that last game. Backed herself, and that's what she's been doing throughout this whole match.
Thank you. Zheng.
Well, she played a tiebreak in her first match, Zheng, against the qualifier, Anka Todoni. So she's got a little bit of experience in knowing how to play these crucial points. Does it again, Siegemund. That's what makes such a difficult shot look so easy. Recognises when Zheng's on the stretch. Picks up that low volley. Just gets the right amount of backspin to not allow that ball to bounce up high. Impressive.
Two-one, Siegemund.
Unbelievable court coverage there from Zheng.
Yeah, the people love it. Great rally here in the tiebreak, and this is a different story to the previous one where Zheng went up to a 5-1 lead very quickly. Sort of could breathe a sigh of relief there fairly instantly, but this is still a hardly fought battle. Great levels of play from both women. Nicely done. And that's what I meant earlier. She has good volleys. She just sometimes doesn't cover the net well. But in this case, she found herself in the right position, fairly close to the net, and then has nice feel.
3-2, Zheng. 3-all.
Really not much between the two players. 6-all, 3-all in this first set. Hard to know which way this one will unfold. I have to give it credit to the German. She's really played her best tennis this morning. But can she maintain that level? An hour and 17 minutes, this first set. Lots of tennis and variety displayed by both players. And 4 steers off that forehand side. And those last 2 points from Zheng. Would you say that's nerves?
I do think it's the wing that, yeah, sometimes when stress, when pressure come into play, that can go astray a bit. Just because of that extreme grip, there is a bit more of a liability. On the other hand, when she's feeling free and confident, it is so hard to fend off that forehand.
Getting caught with depth there, Zheng. And giving Siegemund
5-3, Siegemund.
a little lead here in this tiebreak. 5-3 in the favour of the German.
Great depth by Laura Siegemund, and I do think that she has been the more aggressive player here in the tiebreak. Just taking a bit more risk. Zheng opting to play it quite conservatively, big margins. And Siegemund doing so well and taking the initiative.
And 3 set points too. One of them, Laura Siegemund. She's taken the first set against the number 5 seed. 7 games to 6. Looks like Zheng will just have a change of rackets. Ball just flying off her racket.
Laura. 30-15.
Hustle there from Zheng. Continues to run down those balls.
30 all.
on.
40-30.
Still seems she's trying to find that range on that forehand.
Yeah, and especially on the forehand return, a lot of unforced errors. And a perfect start
Siegemund.
for Siegemund. She holds in this second set, 1-love.
Yeah, it just seems like that forehand down the line is not quite finding its target yet, Zheng. And Laura continues to play some fantastic tennis here.
Well, I like her energy. She hasn't, you know, sometimes you think after playing a tough first set, that energy or that intensity can drop, but she's maintained it, if not lifted up a notch. And that was such an important game, just to hold there and let Zheng know she's not going anywhere.
A very mentally strong player, studied psychology via correspondence school, so she knows all the ins and outs about practicing the mental strength as well as the physical and tennis strength. Seems to be changing shoes here.
I don't see that too often. You would have thought maybe she would have changed them when she took that toilet break.
Yeah, and she already, just as a reminder, she already has a time warning, so not exactly sure how this will be handled. There, I do think chair umpires give a bit of leniency when there is an emergency in a tire.
This is longer than normal though, so Tom Sweeney just assessing the situation. Maybe a bit more time there for Zheng to assess how to approach this next service game. Under a little bit of pressure, a set and love one.
Love 15.
Take that. Impressive return. Smack bang on the line. She has read that return so well today, Siegemund.
$15. $30-15.
Just a bit of frustration you could see there from Zheng. Very understandable. Is playing a player just inside the top 100 who's playing well above her ranking. And sometimes that bit of adrenaline can help you raise your game.
She just seems to be struggling with that slice forehand off the racket of Siegemund. It just doesn't quite get around that ball.
Yeah, especially down that she keeps trying to hit that down the line. Maybe it would be better to just keep it cross court for the time being until she finds her rhythm on that slice serve. It is unusual because it comes from the forehand side, so it continues to move away from you.
$30-40.
You would think she would make that almost every single time, but it's the pressure, right? I mean, she had the whole court.
Yeah, just aimed it too close to the line.
So break point now for Laura Siegemund.
Siegemund.
And she gets the break. Laura Siegemund finding her way into this match. She's up a set and
Siegemund
2
leads
love.
by 2 games to love.
I guess we've been asking the question as to whether she can maintain that level of tennis for another set or 2, and she certainly has proven that she can. Off to a flying start in this second set.
Yeah, brilliant job in keeping up the intensity after such a tight first set. And we continue to speak about the return, and this is now becoming a big issue for Zhang Qinwen. Laura Siegemund has won almost double the amount of return points compared to her opponent.
$15 love.
And I wonder whether Zheng might have to, she likes that deep stance on first serve, but because Laura Siegemund's first serve is actually not very fast, it's around the 150k an hour range, she might want to take a few steps forward because she keeps letting that ball drop and then just not quite getting the depth. That was much better struck.
I just seem to have that little bit of extra depth off that return and first shot.
It becomes a problem on this side here, on the deuce side. You see how far behind the baseline she stands, and Siegemund's favorite serve is that short slice wide that stays so low. And then Zheng tries to go down the line on it. she missed it, but it's always the same pattern, right? She goes down the line, the whole court is open.
30.
Just look at the court position in that last point. Zheng, a good 5 feet behind the baseline. Siegemund on that baseline, if not just inside. You would normally, you know, pre-match, you would think it would be quite the opposite, but just goes to show how well Siegemund is playing today. Willing to take a few risks. And there you go, 61% ground strokes on the rise by Siegemund.
on!
40-30.
So another unforced error off that forehand of Zheng, and it gives Siegemund an opportunity here to take a 3-love lead in the second set.
Juice.
Made it.
Oh, you can't get much closer than that.
You just wow.
1 millimetre on the line. I think Tom Sweeney for a second thought it was out and he called the wrong score. That's how close that last backhand shot was.
Wow.
Advantage, Siegemund.
Do you feel like Zheng is playing almost like with a handbrake on?
Yes.
She looks like she's flat to me on
Yeah.
court. You
Yeah.
know, she's just doesn't have a spring in her step, and understandably so. That's been taken away from her, but I just find she's so far back behind that baseline.
Yeah, I mean, Siegemund is playing really an almost flawless match here. But Zheng just feels like she's not free right now, as free as we've known her for the past 5 months or so. Now, that was a lot more
Advantage, Zheng.
pace. Just swung at it. And maybe she needs to do it. And this is the thing about best of 3. She might just be finding her rhythm, but it's already a set and a break down, and you do feel the stress and the pressure of the scoreboard.
Yes.
Two very different tales, isn't it? Zheng's still trying to find her range, trying to settle in this match. And for Siegemund, it's really about continuing to play to win. As much as it is physical, it is so much more mental too.
Let first. Let first.
He just needs a little bit of luck there, Zheng.
Advantage, Zheng. Yes.
Does it seem to you, Andre, that Zheng just isn't willing to hang tough in the rally? Like she's trying to pull the pin too early.
Yeah, I do think she's definitely, I mean, it is her game in a way to change direction very early in the point, but I agree 100%. I think she's going, especially when you're not feeling 100%, you're not feeling your shots. She's missing a lot of down the lines on both sides now.
Let first.
On the forehand a bit more, but every time she wants to go down the line, it seems to be a very shaky kind of ground stroke, and she's been trying to go down the line quite frequently.
Advantage.
Again.
Siegemund can't believe it.
Wow.
3 millimeters in this time.
Well, and these are the games that can really pivot a match. 2 of these, a net court, and Siegemund must feel like things have conspired against her here.
Please.
Zheng
New
finds
balls,
a way.
please.
Gets on the board here in this second set. Back on serve.
Siegemund leads by 2
2-1.
games to 1.
Well, after fighting off a couple of points to trail love 3, Zheng just paints the lines a couple of times, gets a little bit lucky with the net court, and before you know it, she's back inside this second set.
And now that psychology degree that Laura Siegemund has really comes to play, because this has been, depending on the perspective you take, very lucky on Zheng's behalf and very unlucky on Siegemund's behalf. Tennis players require short-term memory, but very much right now here if you're a Siegemund fan.
A very different scoreline, 7-6-3 love to 7-6-2-1, right?
Yes.
Time.
Cain Arena for this women's singles second round match between Laura Siegemund of Germany and Qinwen Zheng, the 5th seed from China. And boy, what a match it has been. It's Laura Siegemund who took the first set 7 games to 6 in 80 minutes and broke early on in this second set. Had opportunities to take a 3-love lead, but Zheng has fought back and now serving at 1-2.
Love. 15. Fifteen on.
Smart. Recognising Zheng way behind that baseline.
15-30.
Got great hands, doesn't she?
And what I really love, we get a replay, that's nice, how she goes inside into the ball. Take a look at this. She moves forward into the ball when hitting that drop shot. We sometimes tend to go back because it's a slower shot rather than a topspin ground stroke, but she does it so well using her body weight.
Time violation, second serve.
So she received a time violation in the first set. And now a second time violation, which means...
I understand, but we do have it in 6 places. So look at it before you, but if you look before you start your motion, then you'll be able to get a better feel. Yeah, but before you arrive at the baseline, if you look before, you'll know how much time you have.
Seconds.
So Zheng, it means now she's lost her first serve. What a moment at 15:30. Oh dear.
This is a tough position to be in. She says she can't see the shot clock, and it is hard. It's up on the top of the screen, of the big screen, and on the side. So she would have, you can see it right there on your left-hand side. So she would have to turn her head to see it.
30-40.
This is a great response, but you can see her just getting very emotional, and it's all coming together. Her not playing the best, the opponent playing the best match she's played in a long time, and then the 2 time violations on top. It's a lot to take in. Just remember, she's only 22 years old, no matter how mature she seems.
Game, Siegemund.
So with that double fault, it gives Laura Siegemund a 3-1 lead in this second set.
Siegemund leads by 3 games to 1.
So a lot of emotion on court right now for the 5th seed, Qinwen Zheng.
Thank you.
Concerned looks on the face of the Zheng camp.
$15 left.
But yeah, this feels like a
15
must-win game for Zheng Qinwen just because of what has just happened. Just feels like some danger in the air of her to unravel with everything going on.
$30-15. $14-15. Siegemund.
So Siegemund gets herself out of trouble on that last point. 4-1, second set.
Siegemund leads by 4 games to 1.
Andre, you would have a really good idea of what could possibly be going in the mind of Zheng Qinwen. Another forehand, really a regulation shot, and just misses it wide.
It seems to me that she's just lost a bit of clarity here with having become emotional because of the time violation, felt unfairly treated here. And just, you know, when you then start to become all up in your mind and overthinking things, the easiest back to basics stuff on the court becomes very difficult.
So just to recap, in the first set, Zheng Qinwen received a time violation and then received another one in her last service game, and as a result lost her first serve and then threw in a double fault. So just not going her way today. Women's second round singles here at the 2025 Australian Open, and Laura Siegemund on her way to a big upset. Took the first set 7 games to 6 in 80 minutes. And now with a 4-1 lead in this second set. Zheng Qinwen just looking to settle some nerves right now. Get back on the board, apply some pressure.
And I will say, we
15
talked about it at the top, and here we have, again, big Chinese movie star Tobo Lu. He still believes and trusts in Zheng Qinwen to turn this around.
Almost on the edge of his seat. Really trying to encourage Zheng right now.
Yeah, that's nicely done. And we talked about it at the top of the game. This is the first time these two
13
players
love.
are facing each other, and it can be quite a shock to the system facing Laura Siegemund for the first time, just because she is so crafty. She throws so many different things at you. The moment you think you have found your rhythm, she gives you something completely different, and it can just get you off your best game. She does that so well, and she has played a fantastic match up until now.
Some better hitting there from
14
Zheng.
love.
Exactly what she needs, a comfortable hold.
Fourteen, 15. Game. Zheng.
Perfect hold there for Zheng. Turbo Lu likes it.
Siegemund leads by 4 games to 2.
So the pressure back on now, Laura Siegemund, to continue on her winning ways. Such a big moment for the German. Ranked 97 in the world. Oh, beautiful.
15 love.
And Zheng's been getting to, you would say, 95% of the drop shots, and then knowing she can't even attempt that goes to show how well that drop shot was from Siegemund.
Oh, she thought she had it. And this is this loss of clarity that we talked about before, where
13 love.
she's clearly in control of the rally and just makes a strange shot selection. And I do think it's because Laura Siegemund has disrupted her rhythm over and over again that she almost doesn't know how to construct a regular point anymore, because there are no regular points with Siegemund. She doesn't allow it. That's her big strength.
Love. 40-15.
Oh, she's swinging now, isn't she?
Yeah. You can really see the difference in pace. Just the average ground stroke pace has gone up in the past 2 rallies for Zhang Qinwen, trying to free herself from a ever so more dangerous situation here.
So an upset is brewing here on Cain Arena. Siegemund up a set and 5-2.
Siegemund leads by 5 games to 2.
Wow, wait. Not sure if we expected this, but wow, you have to give credit to Siegemund. She has just been so tough today.
Yeah, you're so right. She's played a fantastic match. And the last point again, just the perfect example of what she's done. Zheng plays 2 great points, seems to have found her rhythm, and the next thing Siegemund does is play a drop shot and throws Zheng again off the rhythm she has just found. This is a tough opponent in the second round. Yes, on paper maybe not, but on the court, very, very hard.
Zheng really having to reflect and think about how can she turn this match around. Women's singles second round here on Cain Arena, and Laura Siegemund, what a performance this afternoon. Won the first set 7-6 and leads 5-2 in this second set. And Zheng will now be serving.
Thank you.
To keep her hopes alive at this year's Australian Open.
Thank you.
Out.
Love 15.
Out.
$15 on.
Out.
13-15.
And I will say the forehand is usually the wing that goes for Laura Siegemund. It's held up very nicely today and up until now.
Too good. Both players showing great court craft. There's the hustle there from Siegemund, but even that slice there from Zheng.
That was well handled from both. First, that knifed slice of Siegemund's racket, and then a nice response from Zheng.
Game, Zheng.
Oh, this was probably the best game she's played all match.
It almost got to the point where she just had to hit freely, didn't it? And then the scoreline
Siegemund leads
go
by
out
5
swinging.
games to 3.
And she did what she needed to do. And now it's Laura Siegemund to serve it out to make her way into the 3rd round here at the Australian Open. The toughest game, you would say.
You can see her closing her eyes there. This meditation and visualization is very big on it, very keen on it. So maybe just went through some of the patterns she wants to put to use here serving for the match.
Lenfess.
You have to have some nerve to produce that at 7-6-5-3. I mean, she just has not wavered from that forehand drop shot, and it has worked as well.
Oh.
Oh.
30 love.
This is exactly how Siegemund would have wanted started this service game. And now only 2 points away from this match.
Love.
And with that last forehand volley winner, it gives Laura Siegemund 3 match points.
$40-15.
Not quite yet. Zheng trying to stay in this match.
Still too much points.
Laura Siegemund.
Laura Siegemund, the world number 97, has taken out the 5th seed, Qinwen Zheng.
2 sets to love, 7-6, 6-3.
Her first WTA top 10 win at a Grand Slam event. What a performance. And the look on her face just says it all.
A huge upset, and what a way to do it. She played a nearly flawless match. Perfect tennis IQ on display, aggressive when needed be, and goes up to her coach and fiancé, Antonio Zucca. Tom Bells, the head coach of the German Tennis Federation. This is a huge win for her. You can see what it means.
She has become the first German to claim a WTA top 5 win at the Australian Open since Angelique Kerber in the 2016 final. She's been around a long time, Laura Siegemund. And just an incredible performance on Cain Arena. Not to beat today for the 5th seed, Qinwen. Didn't play her best tennis today, but a lot to learn for the young 22-year-old.
Yeah, that's the good thing and the scary thing about Zhang Qinwen's game is there's still so much room for improvement, even though she's already one of the best players in the world. And this was not her day. She did not play her best, but it was made very, very difficult by this woman here, by Laura Siegemund, who did everything in her power to disrupt Zheng's rhythm and did well.
So Laura Siegemund into the 3rd round again for the 3rd time in her career. But I think she'll take some time to enjoy this win. Came out with a game plan and executed point after point. She is the 2nd oldest player in the draw behind Tatiana Maria. Very, very experienced. Just didn't unwaver from her game plan today. Big upset here at the Australian Open. And here's the winning moment when Laura Siegemund took out the 5th seed, Qinwen. Delight on her face and a relief. And let's hear what she has to say with Duncan McHargue. See what she has to think about her win this afternoon.
Well, Laura, congratulations. An amazing performance. You've just knocked out the number 5 seed here at Australian Open 2025. You seem to come out here with a clear game plan. Can you now tell us what it was?
Yeah, I knew I just had to play more than my best tennis, and I had nothing to lose, so I just told myself to swing free. And you know, she's an amazing player. She's yeah, just one of the best players right now. And but I know that I can play well, and I just wanted to show that to myself and make it a tough fight. You know, and some days you just go outside and you have the ball in the racket.
That first set went for a whopping 1 hour and 20 minutes, and you were really brave and aggressive throughout it. How important was it to remain that aggressive in that first set tiebreak?
Yeah, it was very important. I mean, I think I was dominating the baseline rallies. She's obviously a much better server than me, so I needed to make the points once the ball was in the rally, and I tried to be extremely aggressive. I tried, not to do too many fancy things, but like really stick with my clear plan, and I think I did a great job with that. Then it was getting very physical, and I was thinking about my off season and why I'm doing all this running all the time, and I told myself, now you have to run.
Absolutely. Now, one of the people in your team is also your partner as well. So what's the best part about that? And what's the worst part about that?
I can't say nothing wrong now. First of all, I love you very much. The best part about it is that we're spending our life together on the tour. You know, it's very hard to keep a relationship if your boyfriend is not, or your husband or whatever is not traveling with you. We are sharing all those great and all those terrible memories together, how life is supposed to be. So that's the best part about it, and he's always by my side, which I really appreciate very much. And the worst part about it is probably, that, if there are not so nice moments on the court, he's coaching me, and then you kind of carry that sometimes, or it's difficult not to carry that outside into the relationship. And that's a very difficult part of, I think, all the couples that work together know what I'm talking about. But I think we're managing really well.
Absolutely. Just the final one from me, Laura. We love watching you play because you're such a feisty competitor. We could hear the come-ons courtside. It actually reminded us a little bit of an Australian tennis great that's so popular in these parts, Leighton Hewitt. Is he a little bit of an inspiration to you, Laura? Where does the competitiveness come from?
I think it's something natural. I'm sure with Leighton it was the same. It's something I don't need to create. It's just in me. I'm really competitive, just a grinder and a fighter, which is maybe not always so popular for the opponents, but that's just me. It's myself to just fight every point, never give up, and I think I get rewarded many times for it.
Okay, well, I think you broke a few Chinese fans' hearts here in Cain Arena, but you won a few new fans here as well. Congratulations moving through the round through. Laura Siegemund, everybody.